Hello guys, welcome to today's class. Today we're gonna start with a listening and grammar topic. So the first exercise says work with a partner. Look at the two paintings by Almeida Jr. and discuss what you think the story might be behind each painting. So please look at these paintings and discuss with your classmates what might be the story behind these paintings. Okay, take your time. Let's do it. When you finish, we're gonna listen to a museum's guide description and you're gonna compare your ideas. You're gonna see if what he said is similar to what you discussed previously. Okay, so pay attention.
Track 2.23.
This oil on canvas, The Guitar Player, was painted by Almeida Jr. in 1899. This painter was known for depicting the rural life of Brazilians in the 1900s. His work portrays the people as they were, and it shows the simple and somehow sad life they led. As you can see by their looks in this picture, the woman is wearing simple clothes, and the man is wearing a rustic hat, a checkered shirt, and white pants. He is playing a folk instrument. The setting is the window of what seems to be an old house, as you can see by the uncovered walls. It looks like the end of a day's work, when people just get together to relax. The pinkish color of the wall and of the clothes looks as if they are lit by the sunset. The woman seems to be singing to a sad or nostalgic tune, while the man just appears to be laid back. This other oil on canvas was painted in 1899 too. It is called Longing. It also portrays life of simple people, as you can see by the walls and floor, as well as the country hat in this picture. The woman by the window is wearing simple clothes and flat shoes. She looks like a widow, as she is wearing dark, plain clothes. She looks as though she is reading a letter or document that may have sad news or memories. She looks sad, as you can see tears in her eyes. Also, she seems to have suffocated feelings since she is covering her mouth with her shawl. Her hair seems to be a bit disheveled, which gives the impression that she has forgotten about herself. Almeida Jr. is famous for being a pioneer in regionalist paintings of naturalist style. He lived in the rural area for a long period of his life and seemed to know well the reality he portrayed. These two pieces were painted the year he was prematurely dead, stabbed by his cousin, who had just found out he was having an affair with his cousin's wife.
Nice. Now, for the next exercise, you're gonna match the sentence beginnings with the sentence endings from the museum's guide description. And then you're gonna match the sentence with the paintings. For example, the letter A, she looks like. Do you remember that she said she looks like a widow? Very good. In letter B, the guide said she looks a bit nostalgic. Very good. And finally, the guide said she looks as if she has suffocated feelings. Okay. So today's topic is look, seem, and appear. We can use these verbs for different purposes. In the exercise 3 says, listen again and read the audio script on page 152. Find sentences that include examples of different verb structures for look, seem, and appear. So in order to explain you this topic, we must go to the audio script of this exercise. Here it says that it's in page 152, but I think that in your book it's a different page. Just look for the unit number 9 and it's the audio 2.23. Okay, so here we have the audio. That's better. Can you see any example with look, seem, or appear? Here we have one. It looks like the end of a day's work. So we have looks like. But what is this? Is it an adjective, a verb, or a noun? It is a noun. looks like the end of a day's work. When you say look like, the next word must be a noun. Like in this other example that we have over here, she looks like a widow. A widow is a noun. The end of a day's work is a noun. So anytime that you say look like, you must use a noun. Another example could be this. That cloud looks like a turtle. Okay, a turtle. That is a noun. Well done. Over here we can see an example with seems. The woman seems to be singing. As you can see, when you have the word seem, you have to use a verb in infinitive. So if you're gonna write seem or appear in a verb, the verb must be in infinitive. For example, the cloud seems to be a turtle. Okay, we cannot say the clown seems a turtle. No, seems to be a turtle. Seem and appear, they mean the same. Okay. Now, another structure that we have is the one that we have over here. She looks as though she is reading a letter or document. When we have look or appear as, we can have if or though and then a verb phrase. It's like saying she look as if she is reading a letter or document. It's the same as saying she looks as though she is reading a letter or document. Another example is the cloud appears as if someone had changed its shape. Okay, it appears as if someone had done that. As you can see here, we have a verb phrase. So we have a subject, a verb, a complement. That is a verb phrase. All right, and the last structure that we can find is the one that is over here. She looks sad. This will be the most basic one when you just have the word look or seem and an adjective. That cloud seems fluffy. Okay, so as you can see, we have the word look, seem, and appear used in different occasions. You can say look with an adjective, you can say look with as if in a verb phrase or as though, and you can say look like in a noun. You can say seem and appear with a verb, but it has to be in infinitive. You can say appear as or with if or though with a verb phrase, and you can use seem with an adjective. It all depends on what you're trying to say. So for the next exercise, you're gonna write 2 sentences with each of the grammar structures just seen. So you're gonna write 2 sentences with this structure, 2 with this, 2 with this, and 2 with this. So in total, there are gonna be 8 sentences. Okay, so please do the exercise. If there's something that you didn't understand, please let me know. Okay, and when you finish, we'll continue. All right, moving on. And in the next section, we have a reading and vocabulary. First, you have to read the following summary of Frida Kahlo's life. And you're gonna discuss any aspect of her life that calls your attention. Is there something that you didn't know that called your attention? So, first, you have to read all of this, and then you will have to discuss with your classmates if there's something that calls your attention. Okay? When you finish, we'll continue. All right, now for the next exercise, we're gonna look at some possible alternatives to the time expressions underlined in the text. Okay, so in the text we have some time expressions that are underlined, like the one that we have here, on her return. In each case, one is correct and has a similar meaning to the original. The other one is incorrect. Cross it out. So we have 2 similar time expressions to the ones that are underlined, and you're gonna choose which is the correct. The one that is incorrect, you're gonna cross it. For example, in the line 27, we have on her return, line 27. Which would you say that is similar? As soon as she returned or by her return? Very good. As soon as she returned would be the correct answer. So you're gonna cross this. Okay, so take a look to the underlined time expressions, and when you finish, we'll check the answers. Okay, if you finish, I'm gonna show you the answers. Very good. Check your answers. If there's any question, something that you don't know, please let me know. All right. Now, in the next exercise, it says, think about a famous person you know something about, an artist, a musician, a politician. You're going to write a few lines about their life. Okay? First step, do not reveal their identity. Use he or she. Then, use at least 3 of the time expressions from the exercise 2. Okay, 3 of these. And finally, read your partner's sentence and guess who they are describing. So what you're gonna do first is that you're gonna write a few lines about a famous person, okay? It can be your favorite musician, your favorite artist, your favorite, if you like sports, your favorite player. You're gonna write short line, but don't write his or her name. Just write he was born here, he did this. After that, he, and like that, okay? And when you finish, you're gonna read to your classmates this text that you just wrote, and they have to guess who you're talking about. Okay, so let's do it, and when you finish, we will move on. All right, then we have speaking and listening. It says working groups. Look at the picture of 6 products that have been invented over the last 500 years. Discuss in what order you think they were invented and guess a date for each one. So we have these 6 elements. Which would you say that it was the first invented? Discuss this with your classmates. Try to order them according to the date they were invented. When you finish, I'm going to show you the answers. All right, are you ready? Here are the answers. As you can see, the first product that was invented was the toothbrush, okay? Then it was the toilet, the false teeth, the contact lens, then the razor, and finally a zipper. Very good. Were your ideas correct? Now, you're gonna discuss these questions with your classmates. Which of the above inventions is the most important for society and which is the least important for society? For example, maybe the most important you think it's the toilet, or maybe the contact lens because they help you to see properly, and the least important could be, I don't know, the zipper. You have to discuss these questions with your classmates. So do it, and when you finish, we'll move on. Alright, now we're gonna listen to an interview with British inventor Trevor Bayliss talking about his clockwork radio. And first you're gonna put the questions in order in which they are asked. So I'm gonna play the audio, pay attention, and you're gonna write the numbers of the first question, the second question, and the third question. I'm gonna help you. The first question is the letter D. What gave you the idea for the clockwork radio? Okay, so pay attention. Here goes the audio.
Track 2.24.
Trevor, let me start by asking you what gave you the idea for the clockwork radio?
Well, I was sitting where I am now, looking at that television over there, and I was actually watching a program about the spread of AIDS in Africa, and they said the only way they could stop this dreadful disease cutting its way through Africa was with the power of information and education. But there was a problem. Most of Africa doesn't have electricity. The only form of electricity available to them was in the form of batteries, which were horrendously expensive. And so I said to myself, hang on. Now, this is where dreams play an important part in everybody's life. The beautiful thing about a dream is you can do anything you like in your dreams, right? Now, why I am saying this to you is because I could see myself listening to some raunchy number by Dame Nellie Melba on my wind-up gramophone. And then I am thinking to myself, blimey, if you can get all that noise by dragging a rusty nail around a piece of old Bakelite using a spring, surely there's enough power in that spring to drive a small dynamo, which in turn will drive my radio. And so I was stirred enough to get off my backside and go to my shed and actually find enough parts to actually start doing those first primitive experiments.
And, how long did it take you to design a prototype from the idea?
Well, from the concept to the having the first inner box model out there, it would have taken me 2 to 3 months, I guess. So yes, it took about 2 or 3 months.
So you got the prototype. How easy was it from that point on? How easy was it to find a backer and set up production?
Well, first things first. I did know that there are these thieves about that will steal your idea. So I found a lady called Jackie Needle, a patent attorney, and I said to her, "Jackie, I want to write up a patent. Can you help me?" So we did a search and couldn't find any clockwork radios of the kind that I had done. And she filed for a patent for me. And therefore, then I had a starting date, as it were. Now I knew that nobody pays you for a good idea, but they could pay you for that piece of paper. So then I went round every British company I could think of with a confidentiality agreement, and they all talked down to me. "Oh yes, I think that we are working on something like this, aren't we, Johnny?" You know, all that old sausage. It was so humiliating. And in the end, quite frankly, after about 3 or 4 years of this, I thought, I've had enough of this. Why do I need this? I was 56 or something when this happened, so I was given a chance through the BBC World Service to meet up with the guys from the BBC Tomorrow's World programme. And they said, "Come on, we'll do the story."
So the whole thing got off the ground. How long was it then before the production of them started?
Well, the important thing was funding. The Tomorrow's World programme was seen by a fellow in South Africa, a chap from a company called Liberty Life. He came to my house here and we sat out there. And he said, "Look, we can help you make this happen, provided we can share in its success." I said, "Of course." And so we formed a company called Baygen, Bayliss Generators. And he wrote a cheque for £750,000 whilst I was in this room.
And how many radios are produced each month?
Well, I'm sure they might tell me differently, but I'm sure they must be doing 200,000 a month.
And finally, what advice would you give to someone who had a good idea?
Don't go down the pub and tell everybody about it. That's the first thing, right? Get onto the patent office. Get their literature and read all about it, right? Nobody pays you for a good idea, but they might pay you for a piece of paper which says you own that idea. But remember, somebody might already own that idea, so you must do a search first. There's no excuse afterwards.
All right, let's check the answers all together. What was the second question? The letter E. How long did it take you to design a prototype? Very good. Then the third question was the letter B. Very good. Then the letter F, the letter 5, and finally the letter C. The letter C. What advice would you give to someone who had a good idea? Very good. Now in the exercise 3, you're going to match the responses that we have here with the questions that we have in the exercise 2. For example, we say that the first question was, what gave you the idea for the clockwork radio? Which would you say that is the answer for this question? Very good, it was number 4. I was actually watching a program about the spread of AIDS in Africa. That's how he started to explain how he get the idea. So do it, and when you finish, we're gonna check the answers. Okay, if you finish, please play the audio again so that you can check your answers. If you have checked them, well, let's corroborate them all together. In the first answer, don't go down the pub and tell everyone about it. What question will this be? Letter C. What advice would you give to someone who had a good idea? Nice. In the next one, it would have taken me 2 to 3 months, I guess. What was the question? Letter E. How long did it take you to design a prototype? Then, I'm sure they must be doing 200,000 a month. What was the question? Letter A. How many radios are produced each month? Then, number 4. I was actually watching a program about the spreads of AIDS in Africa. We already said that the answer was letter D. What gave you the idea for the clockwork radio? And then we have, well, the important thing was funding. What was the question? Letter F. How long was it then before the production of the radios started? And the last answer is, I was given a chance through the BBC World Service to meet up with the guys from the BBC Tomorrow's World program. And the question was the one in letter B. How easy was it to find a baker and set up production? Alright, now, in the last exercise of today, we have work with a partner. What do you remember about the story of Trevor Bayliss and the clockwork radio? Complete the summary with appropriate words. Okay, so you have to discuss with your classmates what you remember without listening again to this. And you're gonna complete in your notebook this summary that we have here. Very good. And when you finish, please take a picture and you're gonna upload all the evidences to the platform, okay? So that's gonna be it for today. That's gonna be it for the week. And guess what? That's gonna be it for this partial. Yes. So guys, thank you for paying attention to these classes. I hope that they were not very complicated to understand. And I also hope that coming back from vacations, we can see each other again. Let's hope that all this case with the coronavirus and stuff gets done by the end of this month. And well, take care, guys. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. And please do your portfolio workbook. See you. Bye.